In today's video, I'm going to be going over my pros and cons of the brand new Moto 2026. Alright everyone, hopefully guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. I've been using the Moto 2026 for a couple days now, and in today's video we're going to be talking about some of the things that I like about this device, and of course some of the things that I dislike about this device. Starting off of course with the good, the first thing I really do enjoy about this device has to be the display on this. This is a 2.5K display, so very solid resolution on here, especially compared to other tablets similarly priced. We also have a 90 Hz refresh rate on this tablet as well, so a pretty smooth refresh rate. I was hoping for 120, but obviously 90 is absolutely sufficient enough. But all in all, the colors are great on this. Everything looks really nice. So if you're watching movies, TV shows, YouTube, playing video games, the display actually looks really good. And the great thing is that this is a very big display at 11 inches. So of course, if you guys are watching movies or TV shows, this is going to be a bigger than average tablet to go ahead and do that. Second pro has to be that we have excellent speakers on here. And if you guys don't know already, we have 4 speakers on here. So we have a quad speaker setup by Dolby Atmos, and the speaker quality on this is actually surprisingly good. I was very surprised, as you guys saw in my unboxing on this device. I thought the quality honestly was very good. We have some rich sounds on here, some pretty solid bass overall. It doesn't sound super tinny like some other cheap tablets out there, and is really on par with something like the Galaxy Tab A11 Plus, which of course is similarly priced to this tablet at $249. So very solid speakers on here. You're gonna have a great time gaming, great time consuming videos on this. So overall, amazing speakers for the price tag. Third pro is going to be that we have 8 GB of RAM inside of this. We don't have the greatest processor in the world, which we'll talk about later on, but we have a solid 8 GB of RAM, and compared to the Galaxy Tab A11 Plus, that only has 6 GB of RAM. So we have 2 extra gigabytes of RAM inside this device. And, you know, as far as the processor goes, this actually does run pretty solid. As you guys know, One UI on the Galaxy Tab A11 Plus, when it comes to Samsung devices, we have a very heavy skin over Android. And that is not the case with the Moto 2026. As you guys know, this is essentially a stock Android device right here. We have a very light skin over Android on here with Motorola. And yeah, overall, I feel like this runs very solidly, pretty snappy overall, especially compared to some other devices that even have better processors from Samsung. So very surprised right here with the MediaTek 6300. I don't think it's the greatest processor in the world, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But yeah, overall, this is going to get you through your day. You are actually able to use other accessories with our pogo prongs at the bottom, such as keyboards. And we can use things like a Lenovo stylus on this, which we'll talk about later as well. So overall, very solid 8 GB of RAM inside of here. Was surprised to see that. Another thing is we have expandable storage on this device as well. So we do have a SIM tray on here. Let's see what side it's on. As you guys can see, it's on the right side right here. We have a SIM tray, and we also have expandable storage up to 2 terabytes. So if you guys want to hold your files, you know, video game ROMs, photos and videos and stuff of that nature, this is going to be able to hold your SD card inside of here. Next pro about this device has to be the all metal unibody design on this. This is going to be a completely metal body, so a very premium body on this device. Also, really do like that Moto logo right there. Nothing really else on here. Very plain Jane tablet right here, but I do like the build quality in this, and especially at $249, they have found a way to actually make this feel very premium. So definitely a very big fan of the design of this. Of course, the bezels are a little bit thicker than most tablets, and that most people want, but obviously when you're holding a tablet, you don't want to accidentally click on things. So, you know, it can be a pro or a con depending on what you want inside of a tablet. But yeah, I think the display looks pretty good. Also, the bezels on this are a little bit thinner than the Galaxy Tab A11 Plus. So that's another pro about this. And the last pro about this device has to be the versatile functionality in this. This does support stylus input, so if you have a Moto pen or you have a Lenovo pen or some aftermarket pen, a lot of those are going to work on here. So if you need to take notes, you need to do some animation, some drawings and things of that nature, you guys can go ahead and do that, as well as some other features like PC mode. So we do have a PC mode inside of here, which is a lot like the traditional DeX that we saw on Samsung devices. So if you get a little, Bluetooth mouse or a Bluetooth keyboard that you hook to the bottom of this, you're going to have a really nice desktop experience for the cheap at $249. So if you need to get some workflow done, or if you just want to use this in PC mode for whatever reason, you guys can go ahead and do that. So great to see that we have some nice versatility on this tablet, especially at the price tag of $249. Now getting into the dreaded cons about this device, the first one is that there's no charger inside the box, and it's not the biggest deal in the world because it's not a 68 watt rated charging experience on this. It's only 20 watts, so it's not like you're missing out on a ton of stuff if you don't have a 68 watt charger. You only need a 20 watt charger on here, but I was really hoping to see a charger inside the box, and that's the same thing that they did with the Galaxy Tab A11 Plus. Really not a fan of them not putting a charger inside the box, something that I really disagree with, and actually more so when it comes to tablet devices. I feel like it's kind of necessary to put a charger inside the box, but obviously a lot of people are not going to care about that, but I just thought I'd state that here. Next con is going to be that we have the MediaTek Dimensity 6300 chipset in here, and obviously this is going to be suitable for daily tasks and light gaming. Light gaming is going to work fine on this. I tried Asphalt Legends. That's essentially the only game that I tried so far, but if you want to get into things like Genshin Impact, or you want to get into competitive gaming and stuff like that on here, it's going to be a little bit hard. Also, if you have some heavy workloads like editing 4K video, this is definitely not going to be the tablet to get if you do that type of stuff. So just letting you guys know, this doesn't have the greatest processor in the world. Again, this is the MediaTek 6300. This is going to run a lot better than if the MediaTek 6300 was in the Galaxy Tab A11 Plus, because they have such a heavy skin over it that the processing power is not going to be too good on there. Overall though, this runs pretty solid, but compared to the Galaxy Tab A11 Plus, that has a higher end mid-range processor inside of it, also with the Dimensity 7300 processor inside of there. So that's definitely a con about this device, is that we don't have the greatest processor in the world inside of this, and for the majority of people, I feel like you're just getting this to, maybe watch movies and TV shows and do little drawings and doodles and stuff like that, and you just want a bigger screen to do that on. If you guys just want that out of this tablet, maybe some light gaming, then I feel like this is a solid processor inside of here. But if you're wanting to do a little bit more than that, this might not be the device for you. You may need to spend a little bit more dough to get that out of your tablet. And last but not least, of course, the elephant in the room, we have Android 15 on this device. So we don't have Android 16 out of the box. Weird move, especially since this came out in the middle of 2026. It seems like every device that's coming out right now has at least Android 16. So we not only have Android 15 in here, but it looks like we're going to probably be getting about 2 years of operating system updates, maybe. So very lackluster operating system support right here. I was hoping for a little bit more than that, at least 4 or 5, honestly. And especially compared to other tablets like the Galaxy Tab A11 Plus, that have 7 years of operating system updates. So this definitely pales in comparison to the Tab A11 Plus as far as software longevity. But all in all, I feel like this still offers pretty solid value for $249, especially if you want to stay in the Motorola ecosystem and you already have a Motorola device. This is going to be a great side device to watch your TV shows and movies and stuff like that on, and maybe do a little bit of light gaming and web surfing as well. But other than that, I don't think this tablet is made for much more. Obviously, there are some cool things you can still do on this, and we're going to get deeper into this over the next few weeks.